when the Anti-Natalists took over. The man upon the stage, smartly dressed, fitted with glasses and neat hair to complement. His gaze was piercing, and all could see that he bore a great burden upon his back. They all gazed up at him, simply waiting in anticipation for what he might say. His body, though standing straight, there was a clear hesitance as well that could be read. He licked his lips, grit his teeth, and began to speak. For millennia now, humans have revered their own fate. Now there are only a good few of us left. Receding through the ages, humanity itself has seen and created wonders both beautiful and wicked. But that past is behind us now. And I can say we as a people are slowly nearing our end. The final stage of the anti-natalist movement. It's been secured. No new children have been born for the last century in all corners of the earth. I commend you all to celebrate death as you do life. I wish you all peace in the nothingness. A knot formed in his stomach, as if he knew something was wrong, but couldn't quite understand why. Life, and the continuation of said life, was by all means a way to perpetuate human misery and suffering, but for some reason he couldn't find it in himself to reject this quiet apocalypse. His face, it became glassy, the warm tears running down his face. He had clenched, doing all that was necessary to prevent himself from crying. Because all this was the nature of life, and with human ingenuity, they could surpass even that. Without any utterance, he lifted his hand to signal the end of the gathering. Stone-faced, everyone now had surmised the fate of humanity. A low murmur arose from the crowd. This long, dredging ideal, after millennia of conflict, had now been understood to be over. Through eras of war and peace, the only common denominator was that of man, his belief that humans, no matter what, could not triumph over their own nature as man, that of greed, of hate, and of misery. This was declared the de facto human condition. The chairman, only a boy of which the Anti-Natalists had groomed to continuing their movement, a chain of successes from a long drawn plan, etched out for centuries now to ensure its completion. Who was to argue this, that human, though capable of happiness, were not more so capable tenfold of their own misery? They all could see it happening before their very eyes, the withered souls simply wandering, an aged population, now with the youngest to be believed only 70. The chairman, upon his decorated theatre, he wondered to himself, if only had I been born earlier, then I would not have had to lead humanity to such a sorrowful state. If only I had never existed to begin with.